Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. When Nikki DeLoach first set foot on the production of Home Turf, she sensed something special in the air. The script had landed on her desk, and she knew instantly this was a story worth telling. As she delved into the pages, something clicked. The characters, the stakes, the emotional heartbeat, they all resonated. But even the best stories depend on execution, and film sets are full of unpredictable challenges. In this case, the biggest obstacle was one they never fully anticipated, bringing a football game scene to life without enough bodies to fill the stands. As the crew prepared for a pivotal sequence, the pressure mounted. They needed hundreds of extras, cheerleaders, marching band members, students in the stands, to turn an ordinary field into a stadium full of energy. Yet their allotted budget simply could not stretch that far. Days before filming, the question was, how can we make this scene look authentic, even when we don't have the crowd? They arrived at Lehigh High School in Utah for the shoot. The location was ideal, an actual high school campus with meaningful context. But the stands were barren. The field echoed too much with silence. The crew huddled, heads together, brainstorming contingencies. Perhaps they could shoot tighter angles, focus more on the actors, cut away more quickly to close-ups, anything to disguise the emptiness. But none of those fixes would bring the roar or visual depth they craved. They needed people. They needed life. Then something unexpected happened. Off in the distance, faint and tentative, music began. It was the marching band, practicing in formation, stepping in cadence. Their brass and percussion carried faintly across the campus. The production team paused mid-discussion. Was that actually happening? As they traced the sound toward the field, they saw a procession, the school's marching band in uniform, walking onto the field. Behind them, dozens of students followed, milling with curiosity and excitement. In Nikki's words, it was a miracle, an entire community stepping in, unasked, spontaneously offering their presence to fill the seats, to provide that missing energy. They called it the Day of Miracles on set. The marching band marched in place. The bleachers filled. Students scrambled into seats. Some cheered. Some just watched in awe at how the scene unfolded. By the time the cameras rolled, the stadium felt real once more. That moment transformed not just the visuals, but the spirit of the production. The tailgating party they filmed afterward drew even more community involvement. Kids who had been extras lingered, volunteered to stay late to help. The energy was no longer manufactured. It was genuine. It was shared. The people of Utah, the students and staff at Lehigh High, showed up for Home Turf in full force. Nikki reflects that this kind of alignment, script, cast, community, is rare in filmmaking. It's the kind of serendipity that doesn't always come together. But here, when it mattered, everything aligned. That miracle on set became woven into the fabric of Home Turf's creation, so much so that it echoed the themes of the film itself. Community, second chances, the power of connection. Let's pause to imagine what was happening behind the scenes at that moment. The crew was tense. They had to coordinate cameras, lighting, and blocking. Extras would need direction. The director might worry, will the continuity hold? Will the background be too messy? But when the marching band and students poured in, they brought not only bodies but texture, movement, life. That spontaneity can't be fabricated. It breathes life into the frame. The editors later would have more material, more options, more authentic visuals to weave into the narrative. The sound designers could mix real crowd noise rather than looping canned cues. The impact of that generosity rippled outward. For Nikki, the experience reaffirmed what she often leans into: gratitude and faith. She's spoken before about choosing faith over fear, trusting that sometimes doors open at the right moment. In this case, when the production faced a near-critical shortfall, the community's generosity answered that gap in a way no budget could plan for. It's a reminder that sometimes what appears to be a crisis is just the moment before a miracle. And indeed, that miracle was not just practical logistics. It carried emotional weight. The cast and crew, worn from long hours, felt lifted. The mood on set brightened. Where tension had brewed, now curiosity, excitement, Collective energy bloomed. It's not often that the extra people make the headlines, they're often in the background, but here they became central to the story of the movie's making. That said, filmmaking isn't magic. It's hard work, planning, persistence. Every department, from art to wardrobe to sound to camera to production assistants, must adapt when things go off script. But miracles, when they emerge, remind us that art is collaborative as much as it is creative. The people who show up, the local communities that open their doors, the students who trade their afternoon for a moment on screen, they all become part of the movie's legacy. One can imagine how, in the edit bay, the director and editors sifted through footage, combining close-ups and wide shots, weaving in the crowd reaction that day. They may have intercut tight angles of the actors with sweeping shots of the stands. The authenticity of those extras gave weight to emotional beats, a character's glance into a crowd, the swell of opposition fans, the pull of home field advantage. Every heartbeat of film depends on those texture layers behind it. When Home Turf premiered, audiences would see a film about a college dean, football players, and second chances. But underlying it is a story of a community coming together, off-screen, in real life, to lift a production when it needed it most. That meta-narrative adds resonance. For Nikki, it must be deeply satisfying to look at that stadium scene and know, this wasn't faked. This was lived, even if just for a moment. And if we zoom out a bit, this kind of phenomenon happens in many productions. Local towns opening themselves up, townspeople stepping in as extras, neighbors hosting crews, fans volunteering. But usually, those contributions are built in advance, through casting calls, community outreach, location agreements. What makes Nikki's tale special is how spontaneous it was, how it emerged just when it was needed, unplanned, generous. It wasn't scripted, it was a gift. Thinking of Nikki's wider journey, she's navigated motherhood, artistic ambition, advocacy. Her faith has often guided how she sees setbacks, challenges, and alignment. She's spoken about opening herself to possibilities, trusting when a door closes that another will open. That mindset resonates deeply with this story. The miracle on set is a microcosm of bigger life themes. When resources appear just in time, when unexpected help emerges, when tension gives way to grace. In sharing this story now, Nikki invites her audience into a deeper awareness of how production is more than machinery. It's human. It's the souls behind cameras, the kindness of strangers, the willingness of communities to step into someone else's art. She's not just praising logistics, she's celebrating people. Imagine being one of those students, marching band member, or teacher. You show up for a day. You don't demand payment. Yourself, you contribute presence. Later, you see that scene on screen and realize, I was there. I helped shape that moment. And maybe, even if briefly, you become part of something bigger. That's the heart of what Nikki describes. When you watch Home Turf, when you see the crowd roar, when you sense the authenticity of that stadium moment, know that behind it lies a story of generosity, alignment, and unexpected grace. That miracle on set wasn't just a production fix. It became part of the spirit of the film itself. So let the audiences see the film, feel the energy. But may this behind-the-scenes tale inspire all kinds of creators. When your resources are thin, keep faith. When help seems unlikely, remain open. When doors seem locked, sometimes a community will open them for you. And when that happens, acknowledge it. It's more than just a moment. It's a reminder of what's possible when people come together. At the end of the day, Nikki's telling of that miracle is not bragging, it's gratitude. It's saying this film is better because of what we didn't plan, because of what came in response to need. And it's hope. I hope that art can still be unexpected, that collaboration can still surprise us, that human generosity can still become part of the art we watch. Here's wishing Home Turf lives in viewers' hearts, not only as a story on screen but as a story behind the scenes. And here's hoping more productions will find their own day of miracles when they need them most. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.